Welcome to Research Technique series. Research scholars, please note each research problem, whether medical, engineering, natural sciences, social sciences, including economical, human behavior, and psychological. They are all unique in nature. Each problem needs to be handled and analyzed with specific methodology. Each technique which I am going to take is general in nature and should be used under expert advice if you are a beginner. Learn the techniques and use your expertise specific to your problem wherever required. Happy learning. Thank you. Today we have with us Dr. Chenavir RM. He is Dean and Head Department of Social Works, School of Social and Behavioral Sciences, Central University of Karnataka, Kalaburgi. Dr. Chenavir RM completed his Masters of Social Work and PhD from the Department of Social Work, Gulbarga University, Kalaburgi, under the guidance of Professor Ambarao Uplonkar, who did his PhD at TIS, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, under Professor late M.S. Gore, the then director of TIS, Mumbai. Dr. Chenavir started his professional career in the field of mental health and de-addiction of Richmond Fellow, India, Bangalore. Then he worked as family counselor at Family Counseling Center and Family Court at Kalaburgi. He started academic career from D.K. Shinde School of Social Work, SIBER, Kolhapur, Maharashtra, in the year 1999. He also served at the Department of Social Work, Walchand College of Arts and Science, Solapur, Maharashtra. He promoted an innovative field action project of urban farming with the families of BD workers. 33 households of the BD workers were identified to promote toxic-free vegetable on the rooftop through harnessing the sunlight and following nature farming techniques. It was highly appreciated by the NARC peer team. He also undertook field action project in the field of women empowerment in the urban slum communities. The field action projects were proved to be innovative learning opportunities for the students of MSW course. Later, he joined the Kuvempu University as reader, then joined as associate professor in the Department of Social Work, Devangere University, Karnataka. He worked with 5 villages and promoted Swachh Bharat program for the MSW students in collaboration with the Jila Panchayat and Gram Panchayat. A glaring outcome was that Hanumana Hali became an open defecation-free village. He also implemented community-based rehabilitation program for persons with disabilities in collaboration with the Gram Panchayat. University Grant Commission sanctioned rupees 43 lakhs towards an innovative project of rural governance, technology, and sustainable development. Presently, as already told, he is working as Professor of Social Work, Department of Social Work, Central University, Karnataka. He is also serving as Dean, Student Welfare. He has published over 40 research papers in the national and international journals. He has published 3 books. He has completed 9 research projects funded by UGC, ICSSR, and CSR. He has guided 4 PhD scholars. He has visited Nepal and Bangladesh as part of collaborative work. He has also was recognized as Master Assessor by the National Institute of Rural Development, NIRD, Hyderabad. He is serving on the reviewer committee of Journal of Global Economy. He has also contributed articles to the journal. He was awarded Best Paper Writer for the year 2010. Sir, welcome. Your talk with me will go a long way today.
Welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I am really obliged and humbled with your talk.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Certainly.
we all teach research methodology to PG level students as well as PhD entrants. Research methodology teaching is not complete without teaching case study methods. Who knows better than you? Your case, Mini Milk Revolution, a case of youth leadership for village economy, is a masterpiece. How a case should be prepared, should be learned with example of Mini Milk Revolution. Study of leadership, creating informal organization, then making formal, financial aspects, marketing strategies, group dynamics, organizational development, and social work strategies have all been discussed and covered in a running story. How it should be reported in example of creativity in research. Sir, I will request you, please discuss your experiences in preparing this case.
Yes, sir. First of all, I am very grateful to you, sir, and Journal of Global Economy for recognizing a social work practitioner in letter and spirit and give many opportunities for my work as academic recognition. And I wish to show you the journal in which the article was published. It was in the year 2008.
Yes.
I have preserved it, and it goes like this. The pages, it's almost 12 years, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
The journal was published in 2008. As a social work teacher, practitioner, and researcher, case study is a very important research method for both for faculties and students. Mostly, we are having most of the researchers, they are fascinated towards quantitative research, collecting huge data, analyzing and using sophisticated statistical techniques, and mostly preoccupied with fundamentally preoccupied with generalization issues and high use of statistical techniques to generalize the results, looking at the macro perspective to address the problems of national level or state or regional level. A very important part of research is the qualitative research along with the quantitative research. Qualitative research also has its own significance, whether to teach at the post-graduation level or MPhil level or PhD level. Case study as part of qualitative research, it has a very significant scope and importance, especially in social work. Social work is a professional course which deals with the issues, problems, needs, challenges of individual groups, communities, organizations, and system as a whole. The basic objective is to bring desired change in the individual group, community, organization, and system. There are many initiatives taken up by the individuals, groups, or communities, or organizations to bring change in the system. Such examples are many. Some of the initiatives that were taken up by the Department of Social Work along with the MSW students you referred, that working with BD workers or working with self-help group women and all. Such initiatives are the example of direct practice of social work profession. we have three dimensions. One, the knowledge domain, wherein we teach and learn about the philosophical base and theoretical base of social work. Second domain is about skill domain, the skill set that a social worker need to apply the knowledge into the field situation. The third domain is practice domain, where he has to use both knowledge and skills to help individual, group, community, and organization. There are our MSW students, they also visit the communities, they observe the community, they learn from the community. Very important paradigm shift that a researcher takes up. Quantitative research make him feel very powerful, that he has very sophisticated knowledge, scientific knowledge, he is something different, he is something superior, which people do not know. The other way, qualitative research, it makes researcher very humble. And it has egalitarian principle in it, that both researcher and participant, there is no subject as such. It shows again a discriminatory approach, or it's a kind of prejudice on the part of a researcher, where researcher and a participant collaboratively, they work together, take up an initiative and take it through a particular desired process. Case study is one of such initiative that takes place in its context where it actually happened. We have to identify a case. It may be an individual or group or organization or any event that has happened. It's a real incident, real event, real situation. It has happened and it can be observed and studied and understood by any social scientist, be it social worker or sociologist. Largely case studies are followed in sociology, in social work practice also. The case study that you are referring about mini milk revolution, as a social work teacher having a base of practice both in academic and collaboration with NGOs. I was working in Maharashtra. My village in Eladagundi is in Karnataka. It is a border village. I used to go to my village, visit my village during vacation, used to stay there for weeks. Whenever I used to spend time with my junior youth colleagues, I used to share with them that we have to do something in the village. They also used to discuss what to be done. So urge to do something, it is basically an instinct in every human being. We can observe it commonly. Everybody has, Gandhi always says, human nature is basically good. Although we see crime, we see deviation, we see so many other problems, but the basic premises with which we should look at the things and work towards, or our initiatives must be guided. This is the paradigm that Gandhi gives, that human nature is basically good. So as a social worker, I should look at the goodness of an individual, the goodness that is hidden or masked for one or the another reason. So I used to share with the youths that something can be done in the village. Then they used to discuss, what to be done. Then I used to give them two, suggestions. One, we can start milk dairy. Second, we can start a cooperative bank. Then they started discussion among themselves as youths, and they approached bank, but bank was not ready to register because there was no norm to register male self-help group. So they went to district office, they met district officer, they convinced them, we want to promote self-help group in the village. Then somehow the district officers responded to very positively to their desire, and they opened bank account and they collaborated with Milk Dairy Federation, and Milk Dairy Federation supported them with all the logistics and training, and they started milk dairy unit in the village, and they got bank support. 20 youths took this initiative, and then the process started. They started purchasing milky animals, cows, buffaloes, livestock was very less in my village, but because of this initiative, it increased. And then the village youths, they started, a new lifestyle. Earlier they were hesitant to work in the field, in the agriculture or grazing animals and all, but later they took it as a responsibility, and they started, taking the animals to field, started working in the field, taking care of the elders. They made elders to rest in the household, and they started taking up initiative of agricultural activities and dairy activities. And it also empowered women, because women are the main persons in the family who own, most of the money, whatever transaction they do, it is women who do that transaction in the village. As a result of that, it nearly around 1 lakh rupees revenue was coming to the village. So it made youths very productive, and manure was produced, milk and milk products were there. It improved their health, their lifestyle, and it reduced using fertilizers, chemical fertilizers and all. They started using cow dung manure, composted manure, and it increased natural climate of the soil in the fields of these youth. And this example, I took it through. I was part of this process. Whenever I used to go to village, I used to call meetings of the youths in a nearby temple. We used to sit around. So I used to conduct focus group discussion. So focus group discussion is very important method of data collection as far as case study is concerned. It is very open, very collaborative, very much sharing. Since I belong to the same village, they know me. That rapport was not a problem. So the intimacy, the relationship was very strong and stable. So the trust was there. As a result of that, there was very free and open sharing. So I used to collect the data in that open sharing sessions. So I conducted some focus group discussion, collected data, and I made it a story to write in the form of a paper, and that resulted in the form of a article and appeared in your journals.
The story is wonderful, sir. The story is wonderful, and all RM teachers, they refer this story, and they really they appreciate how this case is really prepared. Sir, these days students are in a hurry to prepare a case, but you have spent months there working with the people. Now, what do you advise the students when they go for such case studies? How much time they should devote, or what other issues they should keep it in mind?
Yeah, case studies. If we look at in social work practice, normally when we work, we have different methods like case work, group work, community organization, and all. We can take either an individual or group or organization or a community as a case or a unit of study for any case studies. The purpose of a case study is very important. We have to set the purpose, the goal and objective. That clarity is very important. If we are working with the individual, if a teacher wants the students to understand an individual, maybe unemployed youth, or a poor farmer, or a enterprising woman who is engaged in some business, or any person having some kind of problem, maybe a person suffering from cancer or HIV, or a person suffering from some kind of economic crisis. So if the purpose is to study the background of a person or profiling of a person, so it doesn't require much time. He has to spend some visits, maybe 2-3 visits to build the rapport with the person, with the participant, or the organization or group. And once he establishes rapport, he builds the trust, because trust is the core value that a researcher has to value it. Without trust, we cannot work with any individual or group, either for research or even for practice. So the trust building is the first initiative that a researcher or student must take it. So in social work, normally we teach students to build the rapport. how to develop that trusted relationship with an individual, group, or community or organization. Because of that, MSW students are skilled. They have some theoretical knowledge, and they are skilled. They are given important some skill sets to build their rapport with individual or any case that they are going to study. And then they can take it through some 5-6 visits to understand the problem or issue or need of a person. So it may take around 7-8 visits if the case study is limited to only profiling. But if we are going to take up case intervention, so that is a different process. It's a very long-term process where we follow a medical process like assessment, diagnosis, treatment, then evaluation. So this method is normally followed as far as case intervention is concerned. So case study, if it is limited to a profiling or reporting, narrating an event, incident, or evaluating a work contribution, so that will take some 10-15 visits depending on the issue and all. So such case studies are very effective one, and they are very much learning oriented for the students, where they are able to get reflections, insights through interaction with group or individuals.
Sir, you yourself are very good researcher in social work. You also teach social work, but not only teach, but you yourself is a very good researcher. Sir, you are a very good social worker.
Thank you.
You are a good, excellent social worker. You have seen your projects. I have seen you working in the villages. Sir, which are the areas a researcher in PhD, suppose if he wants to take up the projects in social work, which type of projects, which type of problems he should take?
Sir, this is a very important question for the research scholars and even for the young teachers also. Basically, how we have to mold ourselves as a social work teacher and social work researcher, be it PhD or even a postgraduate student who has to do dissertation and all. Except some premier institute like Tata Institute or Delhi School of Social Work, Jamia Millia Islamic University or SNDT. In many of the universities and colleges where PhD in social work is taken up, the quality, the amount of time, the commitment, these are very important issues that we need to look at. There are many studies where researchers are not able to differentiate what is sociological research and what is social work research, what is psychological research and what is social work research. We must be very clear about the basic theoretical framework of social work research in general. Social work, in social work research, we take survey type of research studies. But there are studies of experimental nature, like studies that take place in psychology or education. But normally, one of our mentor, Dr. D.K. Laldas, an eminent social work research writer, author of nearly 5 books, who is excellent in social work research and statistics. He has guided us very well. He guides our students, he guides our social work faculty. We are able to develop a new paradigm or new perspective of social work research. Normally, experimental research in social work is very, very limited in number. We have to follow experimental research design in social work research, be it post-graduation level or MPhil level or PhD level or faculties as research projects. But normally, experts, what they advise is that social work researchers, whether it is at post-graduation level, PhD level, or young faculties or senior faculties, they should study quasi-experimental designs without following principle of randomization, without having control group or experimental group. We can focus on target group approach we need not have experimental the control group. We can just identify. Our purpose is not to go for sampling. Our purpose is to help people. So we have to identify who are the needy and beneficiary, or who are our participants who actually need social work response or social work support or social work intervention to bring desired change. We are basically change agents. Our objective is to bring change in the behavior of the individual, group, community. Our objective is to bring social change in the system, at the community, organization, or at the system level. How we can ensure desired behavior change and social change? So that should guide us for research design and research methodology. In that context, quasi-experimental designs are very, very important one. And normally, sir, I will share one illustration that should be able to guide young teachers and young PhD scholars. We have designed a quasi-experimental design framework for our MSW students, which we practice every year. What we do, sir, the definition of social work itself is to transform in life skills. On WHO, World Health Organization has prepared 10 modules on 10 life skills. There are more than 100 activities to develop each life skill. So for example, it could be self-awareness is one life skill, coping with emotion, coping with stress, interpersonal skills, empathy, creative thinking, critical thinking. Like this, there are 10 life skills. Each life skill has some activities defined by WHO. So in modular form they are. So we designed this initiative, the fieldwork initiative, we can call it as intervention fieldwork. So social worker have an important role of interventionist role. They have to intervene to bring change in the situation where an individual is experiencing some difficulty, some problem, or a group is experiencing any difficulty or problem, or a community is experiencing any kind of problem or conflict or any situation. In that situation, he has to intervene and introduce some interventions and bring change in that situation. So we have to follow quasi-experimental design. So in that context, we train our students in life skills, we train our students in quasi-experimental design, we train our students in non-parametric statistics, and we train our students in non-probability sampling method. So we have to identify after training our students, we send them to villages, and for a month they visit the villages, they visit Anganwadi teacher. According to ICDS scheme, Integrated Child Development Scheme, Anganwadi teacher has to form adolescent girls group. So our MSW students go to Anganwadi teacher, they develop a rapport with the Anganwadi teacher, and they request her to give the list of adolescent girls, and then they form that group of 15 adolescent girls, and then they do assessment. What is the life skills assessment? What is the level of assessment? So first they do assessment. For assessment, they need a tool, and we use one psychological scale, one life skill scale developed by Dr. Vrunda from Nimans. So we use that scale. We make assessment of the life skill. So out of the 10 life skill, which life skills they are good at and which life skills they need to improve. They need to enhance their skill level. Then once we do that assessment, they collect the data, they come to the department, we use quartile deviation, low, medium, high, we categorize their each life skill status, whether it is empathy, whether it is self-awareness, whether it is problem-solving skill. So we do that assessment. And largely, more or less, we identify 3-4 life skills which adolescent children or girls, they need to improve. So pertaining to those life skills, there are some defined, designed modular activities. So our students conduct those activities, that is the intervention. Then after those activities, after a gap of 1 week, they again collect post-training assessment using the same tool. Then they compare pre-training and post-training assessment, the data, baseline data and outcome data. We use A-B design. A is assessment, our baseline status, and B is outcome status. So we compare it using Wilcoxon test, because it is non-probability sampling and we go for non-parametric test. So out of that, they will see how effective their trainings were for the children. And students feel a lot of burden, lot of tedious work they have to do. But at the end, they feel so happy when they see the result. They truly feel they are agents of change. They are able to bring change in the life skills of the students. So I think this kind of interventionist research is possible through quasi-experimental research design, that the students at post-graduate level, students at PhD level, and young teachers, if they adopt it, certainly we will be able to develop a new cadre of social work researchers who are having expertise in intervention research or quasi-experimental research.
Sir, wonderful. Wonderful. You have explained not only this case study method, but also you have explained that social work researcher is not only a social worker, but he himself is a changer. He brings changes in the society. I'm really obliged, thankful, sir, humbled with your presence, and your talk will not only help the PhD research scholars in social work, but also will help the MSW students, MBA students. MBA students, they also go for NGOs work and other activities, and
Yes.
they will also select the good projects. They will work, and with your guidance, I think the society is also going to gain. Students are also going. So nice, and I'm really obliged, sir. So nice. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks
Thank
a
you very
lot.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for giving me opportunity, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Dr. R.M. Channaveer says researcher in social works acts as an agent of change. He finds the underlying problems, intervenes, and brings the required change in individuals, groups, communities, and organizations. Case study is an important method of research both for faculty and students. Case study is not simply to collect qualitative or quantitative data, but to bring a qualitative change in individuals and organizations. While working on a case, purpose of study should be kept in mind. Trust building among the participants is the first and foremost step for a case. Intervention case is different and takes longer time. Quasi-experimental technique should be used in social work research. You may submit your research work at Journal of Global Economy, rcssindia.org. Your work is evaluated by peers with double-blind methodology. You will get comments for your work. Thank you.